One of the WrestleMania main events now has a big vacancy going on. So we'll see what's going on there. We'll also see what's new for Andrade, Brock Lesnar, and much more. Starting things off with the heartbreaking news coming out of the Royal Rumble. It was already a heartbreaking night for CM Punk, considering he came up short in the Royal Rumble match itself. But just a few short days after the event took place, reports started to go around that CM Punk suffered a devastating injury that will put him on the shelf for a lengthy amount of time. It was reported that CM Punk suffered a torn triceps, with one report even claiming that it was so severe and how Punk allegedly ripped it off the bone. The injury will require surgery and will put Punk on the shelf anywhere from 4 to 6 months. And with WrestleMania being just over 2 months away, it doesn't look like CM Punk will be cleared in time for the big event, unless CM Punk goes through some superhuman crazy recovery to make it back in just under 3 months. It just seems like there's no shot at all of him making it back in time for WrestleMania 40. And as everyone knows, CM Punk lost the Royal Rumble, but the alleged plan since November was that Punk would face Rollins either way during Night 1's main event of WrestleMania 40. So, like we were just discussing the other day, it looks like Punk was well on his way of earning that WrestleMania 40 Night 1 main event through something like Elimination Chamber or something else along the way on the road to WrestleMania. But with the devastating news of this injury, all of CM Punk's WrestleMania 40 dreams are now scrapped. And it's extremely unfortunate, because everything was lining up perfectly. He was just a few months away from finally achieving his lifelong dream of main eventing WrestleMania. But now that goal will once again have to be put on the back burner, and who knows if that same opportunity will be there at WrestleMania 41 next year. So after so many months of looking forward to CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, this news has fans feeling extremely bummed out, and one can only imagine how Punk himself must feel with the news. But as everyone knows, for when it comes to WWE, the show must go on, and it's really a next man up sort of mentality. With CM Punk now gone out of the picture, Seth Rollins is back to having absolutely no one to face at WrestleMania 40. Everything is set in place for the Universal title. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, once more during Night 2 of WrestleMania locked in. But for the World Heavyweight title, everything around the title appears now to be up in the air. You have Seth Rollins trying to recover as quick as possible from the torn ACL while still being champion, and his WrestleMania opponent is now a big mystery. A few days before Royal Rumble took place, Sports Illustrated came out with a bunch of bogus reports discussing how Cody Rhodes wouldn't be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and how Gunther would win the Royal Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins for the world title at WrestleMania. Nothing at all that Sports Illustrated reported came true at Royal Rumble, but now, given the circumstances of CM Punk's injury, fans are thinking that Gunther versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40 may be the perfect backup plan to turn to for the World Heavyweight title. Gunther and Seth Rollins both are champions and hold their respective titles, but they're both in need of a serious contender right now. Gunther has absolutely walked through the entire roster on multiple occasions, so there really isn't anyone credible for him to face anymore. And with CM Punk gone and Cody Rhodes focusing on Roman Reigns, there's no one on Raw that'll be credible for Seth Rollins to face at WrestleMania. Sure, you got some guys there like Drew McIntyre, but WWE has already done Seth versus Drew several times over the last few months. So pairing them up again for WrestleMania really wouldn't be surrounded by that much hype. When you really step back and take a look at everything, Gunther versus Seth Rollins really seems to be the only blockbuster match that's credible enough to be worthy of a WrestleMania main event spot. Will they do a title unification match? Will it just be Seth's title on the line? They can go either way with it, but that appears to be the only fresh matchup that will be the closest to filling the shoes of Rollins versus Punk. It'll also be interesting to see if this shakes things up for the main event picture of Night 1. With Punk and Rollins off the card, could Bayley versus Rhea, Bayley versus Io, or Rhea versus Becky step into that Night 1 main event spot? Either one of those women's champion matches could be worthy of that main event spot now over the backup Seth Rollins match. So it's the beginning of a developing story, and we'll have to see how the events turn out. If CM Punk takes the full 6 months to recover, will he end up getting his title match at SummerSlam instead? We'll have to see. After weeks of his return being rumored, Andrade finally returned to WWE for the first time in nearly 4 years during the Rumble. Charlotte Flair was even backstage with Andrade at the Royal Rumble to support him and get him ready. And the Royal Rumble appeared to tease some things for Andrade. He had a big showdown with Santos Escobar. Santos tried reasoning with Andrade and offering a truce, but they ended up fighting each other. It's cool to see WWE tease that interaction because that's what a lot of fans theorized about for Andrade's return. Andrade had a close relationship with Zelina Vega and long history with Rey Mysterio. So could he look to get involved in everything going on right now between Santos Escobar and the LWO? Well, according to a new report on Andrade's WWE brand status, it looks like we'll have to wait a while before seeing him reunite with Zelina Vega or Rey Mysterio, because he's allegedly heading to Monday Night Raw to be a part of the roster. It was a pretty surprising move because WWE mostly keeps real-life WWE couples on the same brand together, and Andrade's wife, Charlotte Flair, is on SmackDown, so it was a bit eye-opening to see he's going to Raw. So the move to Raw instantly wiped out everyone's theories about him getting involved with Zelina Vega and the LWO. And like we were talking about before with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes being out of the Raw picture for the World Heavyweight title, maybe that could be the long-term goal for Andrade. Maybe he arrives on Raw and starts trying to build up his case to contend for the Intercontinental title or the World Heavyweight title. WWE even acknowledged Andrade's past by having him tell SmackDown general manager to say hello to Zelina Vega for him during the January 29th edition of Raw. Zelina did respond to Andrade on Twitter with a waving hand emoji. So it looks like WWE is acknowledging that the both of them could be reuniting in the future, but it's just not happening right now. It's a long time coming for Andrade though. The last time he was seen on one of the weekly WWE television shows, it was the Thunderdome era, so hopefully he takes himself to new heights here with this new run. New reports also claim that Bron Breakker is now a full-time member of the main roster. Bron played a big role of filling in for Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. But that wasn't just a one-time night fill-in or NXT Superstar cameo, it appears to be a full call-up. Not only did Bron Breakker take Brock's Rumble spot, but it looks like he's confirmed to be taking Brock's planned storyline and feud as well. Reports claim that after being eliminated by Dominik during the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar versus Dominik was supposed to take place at Elimination Chamber. But with that match obviously no longer taking place, Bron Breakker said in his post-WrestleMania interview that he'll be coming after Dominik and the Judgment Day now. So it looks like Bron will continue to take advantage of those opportunities that are coming to him through Brock's absence. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.